Okay, it's always the time that always people are waiting to see what PowerPoint brings. Of course, it's MGD TV and I'm Ngesi Jacob Jr. bring you PowerPoint today. And of course, as I promised, I'll be bringing you serious politicians, not comedians, serious politicians to dissect several things happening in the political environment, in the political world, especially here in Uganda. And of course, you're all aware what is trending right now is the NUP, is the Kunga, is the Bobby wine everywhere. Whatever is going on in NUP is something that me and you can't judge because we are not God. But of course, today we can't stop or we can't refuse talking about it because opinions is what we can give as the people we invite here or the people that I'll be bringing here. We'll keep talking about it. And of course, today I'm joined by a honorable, if I'm to say, somebody who has been in politics for so long, has been there for some good time, and if I may say, if I may not follow the age, I have to say you are an experienced person at this.
Yes.
So I'm joined by Honorable Buwemba Habib.
Yes.
But of course, I will introduce him by myself. I think he can do it better because he understands himself better. So Honorable, you're most welcome.
Thank you. I'm so excited as a person to be hosted by
MGD TV.
MGD TV.
Specifically PowerPoint.
Yes. I'm so happy. I cannot hide that.
Yeah.
You said I introduced myself. My name is Buwemba Habib.
Yeah.
I'm well known as a political activist and a human rights defender. I've engaged in a number of activities in that line of political activism and human rights defending. Buwemba Habib is also a member of National Unity Platform, call it NUP, and I work with the Office of Mobilization as a special envoy in that Office of Mobilization. So when you talk about Kunga, Uganda Kunga, it falls under mobilization. And that office is headed by none other than Chairman Nyaz Fred Sentam. Is the head of mobilization in the NUP. So he's my commander. I work under him. Currently, we've been running a number of projects under the mobilization scheme, and one of them being organizing the membership to prepare for structure building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We've been accused severally that NUP has no structures.
True.
But I can tell you we have structures even before these ones that we are about to launch. But we've been having structures. We have structures of Kunga. There is no any side of the country you go where there is no Kunga structure. We have a structure of the freedom borders. You've been hearing about them. Freedom borders everywhere. Border stages. We have at least our people, and they are structured. We have the informal structure. The informal structures, we call them the informal structures. These are the people who are working within the informal businesses, say the markets, salons, garages. We have a level of organization within those people.
Okay.
Yes.
So from your very introduction, you said you're a member of NUP, and I understand when I was young, there is a way, okay, not when I was young, but in high school, when you just joined secondary, they call you fresher.
A fresher.
You're in senior one.
Yes.
Somebody would say you're still a fresher in NUP.
I joined the NUP in 2023.
2023.
Around January.
Yeah.
It was,
still, yes.
Now,
but still somebody would call it.
I have already celebrated the year in the NUP.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't think that I'm still a fresher because, like as I've told you, every day, every hour, we are recruiting new people.
Okay.
And since I joined, I have witnessed a number of so many people joining. So those are the freshers.
You're no longer fresher.
I'm no longer fresher.
Okay,
yes.
and you said you work in the office of Kunga. You're from the office of Kunga, and I think as MGD we have to send our condolences to the Kunga office for losing your chairperson of mobilization, Kabongo district.
Kabongo district.
And of course, from the rumors that were moving, that people were saying, you know, it was intended, the shooting of the chairperson was intended.
It was because all shootings, there is no way that a bullet can get out of the gun without an intention. So by the time someone presses the trigger, of course he has an intention to shoot. This is someone who had no any weapon, who was just coming from watching football, Arsenal game, was an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, so that's actually where I want us to start from. The fact that, okay, not the fact, but the, okay, it should be the fact that we are getting all these rumors around, people saying that the NUP is being targeted by the government or being targeted by the NRM. What do you have, which security measures have you taken, or does it send, is there any message that is sent to people like you who are in the struggle that maybe now you have to give up because things are happening to you guys?
Giving up is not part of our solutions, but one part of the security measures is acquiring knowledge about how dictatorship runs. We have knowledge that wherever a dictatorship is, uses 4 pillars to govern his people, to rule his people.
Which are those 4?
One, the first one is creation of fear.
Fear.
Yes, he creates fear, and through that he can kill. That is how the comrade was shot down, dead.
But you're not yet sure whether...
Yeah, he was killed. He was killed. No doubt about that. And so many other Ugandans have been killed. You remember Zebra Senyanga, how he was murdered. You know how Rita and NUP Kenya was murdered along Nakawa market. You have seen how Comrade Frank Senteza was killed. A number of Ugandans have been murdered, more so the NUP supporters. Or members. Now, even some leaders have been killed in broad daylight.
So you have the evidence. You have the evidence that all those murders are by the government, right?
Of course, one of the constitutional duties of the government is to protect me and my property.
True.
So when I'm not protected and my life is finished, who's to blame? So the first to blame is the government. So when I say the government has killed, I'm right in that line. And most of the killings that we are talking about have been applied by the officers in government agencies, state agencies, either police officers or military, or the so-called SMIs or SFC.
But how sure are you that some of them don't do them because of their own personal interests and not command from above as usually?
When do you get to know that now he has done it as a, as a person or as an officer? Because
several times the police comes out and they deny that, like, for us we don't know about that.
What is it that they have done that verifies that indeed they are distancing themselves from the action? How many culprits that have been brought to book? How many culprits that have been maybe sentenced because of their vices? Is there any? So that verifies that it is maybe a part of the plan of the government using their security agencies to kill Ugandans. And that, getting back to the point about the 4 pillars that the dictatorship use, that is part of the creation of fear. when I'm killed, like as we are together here on the show, some 5 minutes past, you receive the message that Habib is finished. What gets into your heart?
Of course, I also fear.
Yes, you get
like
you start trembling. Is it true? The Habib whom we have been
with just a few minutes.
You know, so for those who are in political organization, those who are in political mobilization, those who are in leadership, when they lose their closest ones, they get engulfed with the fear. And the next day, some will hear either pulling out of the game, or some slowing their pace at which they have been moving. So it is in the intentions of the dictator to create the fear. That's why you see everywhere you move, there are guns, military, especially when we are at the time of general elections. Yes, everywhere is deployed, only aiming at instilling fear. Then the second pillar is use of money. They use money to buy off, to rent support, to begin with, to rent support. Then second is to buying some members from the opposition parties or the opponents to their sides.
But there are rumors that even the previous elections, even the opposition was putting in money. I saw the NRM, even I saw Nabanja, the Prime Minister, saying that even the NUP were putting in money, especially during the by-election, in the by-elections we've had so far. They've been saying, you see, even NUP is buying people that are putting in money. Where do you even get that very money?
No, you see, buying of votes is an evil, and we are against it. But there are still some elements, of course, who think that they cannot go through an election without giving in.
So I had the meeting that even the opposition has been doing that, or is even still doing that, including NUP.
I cannot say that it is not done. Money is given out, but we discourage that action of giving out money for votes. But of course, it is the environment which has been created for us by the regime. Before we had an election of 2021, Museveni himself said, for someone to go through as a parliamentary candidate needs to be with at least 500 millions. Can you just imagine that mindset? If you say that as a leader and you say you need about 500 million to be able to be voted into parliament, that creates, it makes politics being monetized.
Yeah.
Yes, and what will the voters expect are the candidates coming to give them money so that they can also vote for them. And then the candidates on the opposition side also find themselves being trapped into the game.
Yeah, and talking of
the NRM is giving out.
Yeah, so they'll be like, why not we also?
With them, so
you'll be like doing it.
Yes.
Talking of 500, why the president talking of 500 millions? I heard this from your former opponent, Buwemba, when he said, I think it is because of the money that these people are injecting the campaign that now they feel when I go to parliament, I have to
there is
bring
that
back
narrative that has been created that if you want money, then join politics.
True. Because
of the too much bribery and the corruption around that field. So, Katol said, Nange mumpenge
ndieko.
Yes, mumpenge ndieko. And indeed, when he reached there, he did not do so much, but only eating. But you see, we shall reach there. I was still talking about the 4 points,
the 4 pillars.
The 4 pillars the dictator used. One being use of money. We've witnessed the use of money where some leaders on opposition have been bought.
Yeah.
If you mention a person like Honorable Betty Kamya.
Yeah, who is now the IGG.
The IGG, she was once a leader in FDC. If you talk about a person like Joyce Nabosa Sebugwawo, former vice president of FDC, Uganda region, she was bought off using money. If you talk about people like Nachwala Chinji, you can mention people like even the speaker, the current speaker, Anita Mong.
Yes. Even the deputy.
Even her deputy.
Yeah.
Both were an FDC.
Yeah.
So how did they
and that brings me to the question of how comes most of the people we are now seeing in the parliament or in the government, working for the government, most of them defected from FDC. And you're one of those people defected from FDC.
But I'm not in
Yes, you're not in the government, but you defected to NUP.
Yes.
I think, should we say, because you're saying that all those defections are out of being bought, you know, should we say even you were bought by NUP?
No. I wasn't bought. And of course, there is no opposition party that has managed by our rent support.
Yeah, true.
But surely, it is with no doubt, those who are fetched from opposition to the ruling party, most are bought. Because why do I say so? If you check with a person like the records of a person like Honorable Betty Kamya, she used to preach against the evils that this government has done to the people. One of them being promotion of corruption, grabbing people's land, killing people, the extrajudicial killings, use of a gun.
So are you trying to say that she's not worthy occupying the position
when
she's
she
in?
occupied the position where she is, has that stopped?
It's a question that I want to ask.
Has corruption stopped? Has grabbing people's land stopped? Has extrajudicial killing stopped? So I don't think that they joined willingly or just were convinced by their heart.
That you should join.
It was the money that convinced them to join the other side.
Okay, the question of whether those things have stopped is what I leave now to the viewers to comment about that and tell us what you really think about that. Have all the things you have talked about ended, or they're still ongoing? You're still on PowerPoint, and this is MGD TV. We go for a short break and we come back.
Welcome to MGD Media, where our state-of-the-art studios are based. We offer a variety of media services and production, which include music production, video production, photography, online marketing, printing of all sorts of documents. We also offer space to produce talk shows using our latest technology at affordable prices. Please come to our studios and take advantage of our quality and amazing services. We are located in Kabaragala Junction, behind Equity Bank, along Senyonga Road, on Charisimbazila Plaza. For more information, please contact us on 0700 53 5601. MGD Media, connecting communities.
Yeah, you're still on PowerPoint here on MGD TV, and of course we're still talking about the defections from FDC to NU, to other parties, especially the NRM that is in power. And of course, our guest, Honorable Buwemba, was saying that most of those defections are because of the much desires by these people for money. They go there not because they not because they willingly want, but because they really just want the money that is there. They want to taste of the national cake. They want also their portion to be given to them. Otherwise, we are still on PowerPoint with Honorable Buwemba. Habib, a former aspirant for Member of Parliament, Rubaga South, on the FDC ticket.
Yes.
Though right now he's in NUP,
NUP.
the National Unity platform
headed by His Excellency Kyagulanyi.
Okay, President
Yes.
Kyagulanyi
Yes.
Sentamu Robert.
Yeah.
I understand he's still outside. Is he back in the country?
He's still outside. He's coming back on 15th.
He's coming back on 15th. So we are still talking about the ongoing or the threatening foldings that are going on within the NUP party. But of course, we have to first start with what is happening in other parties and why that, so that we get proper reference to what is happening in the NUP party. So now, going away from what we were on before, I want us to talk about what is going on now.
You see, someone has been following us. Will be missing the pillars.
Okay. You had told us two.
Yes, two. The creation of fear, then the use of money.
Yeah, so
the
let us
third
finish
one
those ones
being
shortly and then.
Controlling information.
Yeah.
You know, there are even some laws that have been brought in the country just aiming at controlling information. A law like that of OTT that introduced tax on whoever uses internet. They aimed at controlling information. The more you make it expensive, the less the users become. Then, if you recall the so-called former Public Order
Management Act. The Public Order Management Act, yes.
That used to regulate our rallies, our meetings.
Yeah.
And what was it saying? That when you are more than three, if you are to discuss about politics, you have to seek permission from the IGP. How many IGPs do we have in the country?
One.
Where is he sitting? Naguru. So you expect someone in Kasese to travel to Naguru to come and seek permission from the IGP to have a discussion about politics or the political the affairs of the community. All those laws were put in place aiming at controlling information. The more you control information, the more you instill ignorance, and you know what can come out from an ignorant society. That is part of the pillars. And the fourth one being propaganding, aiming at divide and rule. Propaganding under dictatorship is one part that consumes a lot of investment. They invest a lot of money in propaganding. They have agents who spread propaganda. You've always been hearing how they are trying to belittle my president. You know, wherever he is abroad, he is dealing with a certain group of people who are anti our social values. They invest a lot in the propaganda, aiming at divide and rule. Of recent, we've been talking about the corruption, the bribery within the House of Parliament, and quickly they also started now talking about the corruption within NUP, saying how the president Robert Kyagulanyi once picked
370 million
around there as a gratuity fund for him as a former member of parliament. But when the president came out, my president, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi, came out to clear that, reminding them that you remember, you know well that the law says for one to qualify to obtain gratuity from parliament must have spent at least a term in the house, and the term is of five years. For him, he joined the parliament through by-election. He was in the parliament less than 3 years. So he wasn't qualifying for the gratuity. So those who were trending it, what was their intention? What was the purpose? Spreading the propaganda. Once they spread the propaganda, they demoralize the rightful people from pursuing for the cause of fighting down corruption. And since they replied, I haven't seen them all again. Also amplifying the reply he gave. You heard them saying about Museveni and helping the president, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi to clear his taxes. But when the president came out and cleared it, how many of you heard also amplifying his reply? Less. They are always fast to trend the information that they have propagated themselves.
So isn't it a political game that is healthy for the NRM that now?
Yes, of course it works for the dictator, because he invests a lot around it. The more the society is divided, the easy finds it to lead it. So they invest a lot in confusing the public, and we have to be careful about those 4 pillars. So the question was...
and that's now where I want that very last pillar that you have given us and talked of the corruption in parliament. People talking about the corruption in parliament, and the NRM coming out also to speak about the 500 millions that Honorable Mpuuga took. And now the question is, why are you people over crucifying Mpuuga? Because everybody is talking about Mpuuga, and yet it's not the only one who received the money, because we are all aware that even the other 4 commissioners from the NRM received some good amount of money.
Yeah, it has been part of our struggle fighting down corruption and bribery, because corruption is a killer disease. You know how many lives we lose in our hospitals just because of the corruption. People who have swindled the money that was meant to buy medicine, and once the medicine isn't there, what happens? Loss of lives. And in our manifesto, the previous in the previous elections, a part of the manifesto was to promote a zero, it was a zero tolerance to corruption.
But is it achievable?
Of course, you work for it. You work for it. You work for it, and it is a gradual process. So if we say zero tolerance to corruption, we mean it. You know, part of the values of NUP is integrity. And in leadership, how integrity is interpreted is what you say is what you do. You walk the talk. So if we promised Ugandans that we shall promote a zero tolerance to corruption, we cannot see one of our own also trying to engage and indulge himself into corruption, and we just keep quiet. When it came to public knowledge that there was money that was shared amongst the parliamentary commissioners, which was 1.7 billion shillings, and we learned that Mangus was one of our own, Honorable Matthias Mpuuga, our commissioner, parliament, and the vice president of NUP in Central Region. Of course, the leaders convened. They resolved that they call a meeting of stakeholders to decide on what to be done. Amongst the people who were invited is himself, Honorable Mpuuga, and some senior member of parliament. And the part of the discussion was a question to him whether he indeed involved himself into that business in parliament, which he acknowledged that he did.
But if he acknowledged, then why? Because even Bobby Wine came out on his page and said he indeed acknowledged that he had taken part in it, and he had received the money. But why then did he come out later and...
You know, now from the meeting, he was advised, one, after letting him know that it is against the values of the party and against the promises that we made to the public, that is promotion of zero tolerance to corruption. And he was advised to apologize, take back the money, and willing free resign from the position of the Commissioner of Parliament representing NUP there. He asked for some time, for a day in fact, to go and consult from the family, also the colleagues that he has been working with, those who have been working around him, so that it does not just fall onto them as a bomb, that the man has resigned. Some may faint for such information. So it was like they gave him that time to go and prepare the process of resignation. When he reached out, I think he communicated to some of those, maybe those who are used with corruption, those from the other side now.
Which side? Like which side?
Those who are used with corruption. You know them. The NRMs. Because he has been hobbling with some big boys.
And you have evidence. And why do you call them big? Why do you call them big boys and big girls?
For them, the way they are moving, even on the streets of Kampala,
they are big.
They are big.
So doesn't this?
So they advised him not to resign. They were like, even after all, the party has no powers to withdraw you from that position. The law only says that it is the parliament that can withdraw you. So you have our support. We cannot let you go. And when the party learned that, he's adamant about the advices that he was given. They printed the minutes or part of the resolutions in the meeting, and they made it public. Because every political party is a public entity. It is accountable to the public. So the business you do inside the party has to be accounted to, that has to be accountable to the public. So we had an option, but providing the part of the accountability to the public. And now the public started demanding, how can you be advised to resign and you say you are not? How could you indulge yourself into this business of training corruption within the house? The next day, I think, through the pressure or maybe through the will of defending himself, he appeared on a...
So you did the exposing of Honorable Mpuuga as a way of accounting to the public, even when it threatens the party's stand and
no, how does it threaten the party's stand?
Because the last time you tried to tell some people, especially I remember I'll give the example of Honorable Kagabo, to return money to where he had picked it from, as allegations have it that he had gotten it from the Speaker of Parliament. When he tried to do that, of course, he had to leave the party. And now, though now he says he's a member of NUP, but...
Yes, you see, now, how many supporters did Kagabo moved out to the party with? So
you mean those who brought him to Parliament?
Those who joined NUP joined it with a purpose. One of the purposes is to join a corruption-free zone, which is NUP. So when you are called to indulging yourself into corruption, should we say we don't want to lose the numbers, let us keep you, as we keep you, you start also spoiling the others, and in the end we shall be of no any difference from any other. So we better stand for what is right, even if we remain few, than standing for what is not right in the name of getting so many, you know. So if we are saying we are ready to fight down corruption, we should start with our own people, and we should also start by standing strong and firm before every criticism, before any condition, and stand for what is right. And the time is now, no doubt. At least in the beginning, there were some confusions, some thinking that no, it wasn't such a bribe. It was part of the manner that a commissioner is meant to get. Because when Honorable Mpuuga appeared on one of the radio stations, he tended to confuse the public by bringing in gratuity, pension, and some other kind of allowances and members of parliament.
Service award.
So he was like, a service award is the same as gratuity, the same as pension, the same as other benefits any member of parliament gets. That's how they now brought in the other money that Chaguran, they arranged the Honorable Chaguran
received from parliament.
So they were like, why didn't he also refuse it if he indeed knew that it was a bribe or it was corruption? So they tried to confuse. But as the time went on, explanations came out. The president, His Excellency Robert Chaguran, used his Facebook account to give 10 reasons as to why he believes that it is indeed a bribe, it is indeed corruption. And part of the 10 reasons, he asked, how comes that when the money was proposed by the commission, which is part of its duty, it did not extend it to the House, to the plenary, that is Parliament, to approve it. And that makes it an illegal money. Then it breaches the some laws. If you read Leadership Code of the Leadership Code Act of 2009, which bars any leader from engaging in any meeting that resolves like funds where he's a benefit.
So if you're a beneficiary, you don't have to engage in the discussion.
You cannot come to discuss your benefits that we are here, we are discussing how much we have to get. And how to get it. There is conflict of interest. You cannot give yourself little. You have to give yourself much, you know. So the Leadership Code Act bars you from engaging in such a meeting. Let others plan for you, but not you coming to plan for yourself. So now the argument from their side was like, but it is a duty of the commission to plan for the entire house. And the commission is part of the house. Yes, that's why the law, if you read Article 95 of the Constitution of Uganda, gives Parliament, gives that commission the mandate. But all the money that has to be gotten by any staff of Parliament has to be approved by the Parliament, which is the House, which is the plenary. In this case of the 500 million, it was not done. It started with them and it stopped with them. And that makes it an illegal money.
But do you think if it had gone to Parliament, it would have been approved?
The emotion would have moved, and if it had been approved, then it would be clean money. It would be clean money. And this, if it had been approved, it would be policy that benefits other people beyond even these who are currently sitting in those offices. That's why interviews went on to inquire from the former leaders of opposition, the Professor Gengala Tigos, the Winnie-Kizas, the Wafro Gutus, whether they at one time also benefited from such. And they come out to acknowledge that for us, we never benefited from such a money quality service award. So now the question still arises. If it is money that they award maybe to a former leader of opposition, should the current one also expect the same? Is there that provision that Senyonyi, the Honorable Joel Senyonyi, will also get the same? It. You know, did you bother to read the minutes that were provided that money? The minutes spelled even the names of the beneficiaries. And the name Honorable Mpuuga was there. So how many Mpuugas do we have in the house? So it starts with him and it stops with him. You know? And that makes it an illegal money. And that makes it a bribe. And the question now comes, who he receives a bribe, in return gives something. What is it that our leader gave in return? That is our biggest concern.
Somebody was saying that NUP shouting about this, talking about the 500 million is just a spirit of poverty that is killing them. You know, you can't talk about 500, 400.
Yes, you see, people have come also to think that 500 million is such little money. But when we are fighting corruption, even if it was 100 shillings, a coin, it would have a spark of confusion of the same magnitude. Because fighting a vice should not be given a magnitude, a level that, you know, if it is much of this magnitude, then there we put the fight together. If it is less of this, then there we can say. And you see the people who are leading us today, the M7s and the group, how they started the stealing. They started stealing with eggs. Just eggs, poultry eggs. Then they reverted to the birds, hens. They reverted to stealing goats, to cows. You go to Luwera and ask the people there. After stealing the cows, when they joined the government, even before joining government, but let us now get to a point when they joined the government, they elevated, they graduated now to stealing banks. Where is the Uganda commercial bank?
So that's proven now.
Where is the cooperative, all the cooperative banks we had? They stole them. Where is Greenland Bank? They stole. You know? So, we cannot tolerate theft at any level, however small it is. Even when you are grooming a kid, and you say, he has just stolen a chapati. After all, it was for him.
He was hungry.
He was hungry. There must be a no that follow if he is to eat that chapati. You know? But if you just take it simple, the next day he steals a money from your pockets and you say, after all, it is his father's money. The next time you will be quarreling with the neighbors when he has stolen some things from the neighbors. The next time you hear him maybe on the highway turning into a highway robber. So, NUP, as it is, we are proud of our actions in a fight of corruption, and we are not to retard. We are not to relent. We are not ready to give up, regardless of the criticism. After all, our assessment shows that those who are criticizing our decisions and actions are those who have always been criticizing us. Those who have always, who have never wished us any good. These are the so-called the DP broke, guys, the Mukakus. Mukaku has
Yeah,
always been at
and,
the neck of our president.
But yeah, and I think I've seen him. If not, then he could be still in Usoga region. I saw him saying he's going to be mobilizing people in the Usoga region.
Mobilizing
I think
what?
about is it the whole alliance or there is something that?
Yes, yes. We have no problem with them organizing themselves. You know, their social organizations. But my point was about his criticism towards the NUP. Everything that NUP does, he comes out to, to criticize. That such a level of criticism will not retard our pace at fighting the corruption and also struggling to liberate this country.
Okay, so regarding the NUP top leadership's decision, which is assumed to be President Robert Chagulanyi's decisions to recall Honorable Mpuuga from his position as a commissioner, don't you think it threatens NUP in any way that from the presidents that have been set before that we've seen, NUP parties like DP, because of money, they have split themselves, and we've had the bad DP and good DP. We have had, I think the good DP is the one that called itself the DP block. And yes. Now we have the FDC, we have the Katonga faction and the FDC, Najana Nkumbi. Don't you think at such a point where we have Honorable Mpuuga, who is believed to have to be a strong pillar in the politics of this country and the politics of NUP, don't you think we are most likely to have also another faction of NUP?
If the factions are to be, let them be on a good cause. You know? If we are maybe to differ on just personal intrigues and fights or personal interests, it would be a mess.
Are you trying to say that this is a personal thing? If that is
no. For now, it is a genuine cause. Fight against corruption. We promised in our manifesto of 2021 that we shall promote a zero tolerance to corruption, and we cannot. Even Museveni had the same promise, promoting zero tolerance to corruption. But why Museveni has lost integrity? Because what he says is different from what he does. When he was shown the people who stole the poor Karamajong's iron sheets, including the speaker Anita Mongo,
and you were arrested for
calling her a thief of Karamajong iron sheets, and indeed she is a thief. She stole the iron sheets. She was seen with the iron sheets in Bukedia. You know, Karamoja does not extend to Bukedia. Bukedia is not a part of Karamoja. It is Teso. So I want Anita Mongo to go and open the dictionary and find out what theft means. Theft is taking someone's property without his consent. You know? So, did he get consent from the Karamajong? Because the iron belonged to Karamajong. Did she get? But
she said that she didn't say stolen. She didn't say stolen.
You see, all that is Okwekaza. Okwekaza. Why am I saying so? The proposal of a supplementary to buy Karamajong's iron sheets was passed through Parliament, which Parliament was presided over by her, isn't it? As the Speaker
maybe that date was the deputy who chaired the.
So okay, let it be. The deputy chaired the what?
That day.
That day. Did she interest herself to find which business that was, happened in her absentia? She must have. So, if you just receive a call that you have something to take and you just pick then that also has to worry us, has to worry the public at her level, at her in her position as a speaker. If you just receive a call, then here is something, and you don't need also to ask where is it, the source of this something. You just send in someone to pick. Then that means that we are in a danger.
Yeah, so let's go back to the threat of having another NUP faction. Yeah.
Yes, the threat having another NUP faction. If there is a section of Ugandans who think that we need to promote corruption in the country, and they find it fit to join another group which is getting away with parting away with NUP. We I think as genuine members of NUP who are up for a cause, we have to clap for them. When they get out early, so that we reorganize ourselves and we remain clean without any suspicion of.
Is it possible that the party can remain clean without?
It is in the intentions and the efforts of the leaders to keep it clean. Okay. And then it is in the interest and the efforts of the opponents or the junta to keep it look dirty. So if we relax, if we go less against these people who are already dirty, then we are finished. That's why I want to salute my president, Sir, His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi, for his assertiveness this time around. Because he was intimidated, he was criticized largely by some so-called elites, the experienced leaders, those who have been well groomed, brought up for leadership, but he has remained firm, and he's saying, we must clean the house. And my prayer to him is that this doesn't only stop at only Mpuuga, but at everyone who is trying to jeopardize with the party's values. It may take time for everybody to indeed understands what is it that we are doing. But with time, we shall be understood. Which region are you?
Me?
Yes.
Eastern, I come from
the religion.
Religion.
Yes.
I'm a born again.
Born again. Have you interested yourself reading about Jesus?
Yeah.
When he started with his gospel, what happened to him?
He was crucified.
Many
people came
but
against it.
As time went by, what is happening today? You find guys on the streets of Kampala. The gospel of Jesus was denied where he was born from. But now, so, world over, wherever are you
trying to say that Uganda is standing against its own?
No, what I'm trying to say is that if you are fighting for what is right, don't be bothered about time and what the happenings are surrounding you. You be assertive enough and stand for that truth. With time, as time goes by, people will start joining you. So for some confused Ugandans who think that we should tolerate even those who are misusing the public's fund, you tolerate them, handle them softly so that they don't run out from you. And for us, we are saying no softness as long as you are trying to swing up the public's money.
Shortly, many people believe that the recalling of Mpuuga from his position is just a personal interest. It's Bobby Wine's personal grudge or personal interest, according to people. And they believe maybe...
Which grudge and which interest?
They're saying maybe they're saying another lion growing in the same party.
There is that confusion. Which lion and where was it got from?
And
Mpuuga has been in DP. He has been in parliament for the last 10 years, isn't it?
Yes.
The last 2 terms. What was he in the house?
because they're saying
What was he? Because I can hear some DPs saying, we have groomed him. You groomed him to do what? What deployment did you give him when he got into the house?
because
He
that's
was not even like appointed the chief whip of the party. He was not appointed even to correct files of the chief whip, whip of the party. He is His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi, who has appointed him the leader of opposition.
Because
the highest, the topmost position of leadership on this opposition side in the house.
because they're saying that Mpuuga has over time tried to check the president's powers. And for example, what happened in Masaka when he stopped the Kunga, and according to the provisions in your constitution, deputy president has not to regulate, but just offer guidance on what the people has to do. And
all those have to
and people take it the passive.
All those will be said. But the point is, he is the president, His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi, that divided his powers to him. He's the one who appointed him his vice president. He's the one who appointed him the leader of opposition. He's the one who appointed him the commissioner. You see?
So
that enough shows that Bobby himself wished Mpuuga well, and he never.
So should we expect the party to also ask Honorable Mpuuga to step down from his position as deputy president of Uganda region? Or
of course, I think if he goes bending the values and the principles of the party, he will be announced as someone who is errant.
Just a member.
And an errant member cannot be seated in those positions. Because when you're a leader, you have to act exemplary. So, if you are being guided and you are errant, you cannot. What kind of an example that is drawn from you?
But
I can see that happening.
But even if he steps down, your president usually says that in the NUP we are all equal. So even when he comes just an errant member.
That's why I'm here speaking on behalf of NUP.
Yeah.
You are asking me even what NUP has to do in the near future.
Yeah.
I every answer. But I'm not a spokesperson of the party.
Understand.
We are given that corrective responsibility.
Yeah, of giving your opinions.
Yes. And we in NUP, we've been given that space where we have to enjoy our rights. The rights of expression, rights of speech, rights.
Yeah.
We are not like the other side.
Okay. As just maybe,
Yes.
I wanted you to, just in 1 minute.
Yes.
This honorable here was a member of the Jobless Brothers, and we don't know where the rest of the members went. I see Norman. Norman, I think Norman for him is now tired of this politics of defiance, and he's somewhere writing books. And I see one of your members
is running a movement, the youth movement,
or the alternative.
Yes.
Okay, but then I see Burora is now.
No, for liquid correction. Burora has never been a member of the Jobless Brotherhood.
Are you serious?
Burora, who is now an analyst in Rubaga, he was a member of NRM Poor Youth. But NRM Poor Youth emerged at a time when the Jobless Brotherhood was so active. And whenever the NRM Poor Youth could do stage an activity in the reporting of media, they were reported as the Jobless Brotherhood, because the Jobless Brotherhood now then had a very big name that surrounded almost every youth that was active at that time. So that's how Burora happened to be reported at one point as a member of the Jobless Brotherhood, but he has never been.
Okay, okay. Now, maybe your last words, like in a minute, to wrap up.
The question was, where is the jobless brotherhood? The jobless brotherhood is still existing, and the I, for one, now I'm like, I don't know how I can term myself, but I'm a pioneer, and now I moved on to other organizations.
Yeah,
I'm running a movement known as Social Justice Centers Movement, Uganda. I'm the convener of Buwemba Social Justice Center, and our fight, our agitation for human rights and the rule of law is now run from that side. Other members also moved on. You've talked to Norman Tumuhimbise, who used to be our national coordinator. He's running also and the alternative youth movement, and they are also running an online Big Talk. Yes. Then Commander Mayanja, Robert, who used to be our field commander, is also existing. And if you want him, you can find him at Katonga, at Dr.
We shall definitely get him, because I want to hear that whole story of the jobless brotherhood.
But during our time then, we did a tremendous job of exposing corruption, more so in Parliament. When we used to sneak in pigs in the house.
I saw that, and pigs with people's photos and portraits.
Name tags.
Name tags. And I was like, what is happening? So,
But good enough. Most of the people that we tagged their names with on the pigs, they are fully now exposed. I remember Muhammad Sereko shouted a lot, trying to portray himself as someone, as Mr. Clean. But he has also been exposed. No doubt that he is not also serving the dictator. So at the time when we brought a pig at Parliament with his name, Sereko almost wanted to kill someone.
That was the politics of the jobless brothers. Mr. Buwemba, maybe say bye to our audience, and then maybe we shall bring you back again, such that we have this conversation continue.
I'm so happy to hear that I'll be brought back again. The viewers of the PowerPoint. It has been a great pleasure communicating to you, and given an opportunity by the management of this TV. And I can assure you that I'm flexible. The next time you invite me, I'll be here.
As I was telling you earlier, people were flooding my inbox when they saw the flyer that I'm bringing. Buwemba, they were like, what? Isn't this the guy from the Jobless Brotherhood? Isn't this the guy who is so going in because of Right Honorable Anita Mong's case, calling him a thief?
We are still in court with Anita Mong. She opened a case against me. That is a case of malicious information trading. Malicious information. What was the information that I called her the Kalamajong iron sheet thief? And that case is coming up for hearing on 25th of this month. How I wish that you come with your camera and you
definitely
viewers follow up.
Definitely, we promise.
Because I'm so ready. I've gathered, I've collected all the evidence that pins her as a thief of the iron sheet. So she has also a duty to bring the evidence to prove that she has never stolen the iron sheets. If she's to win the case.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. It is on 25th of March. We promise we shall be bring
City Hall Court. Yes.
We promise shall be bring that. Otherwise, our dear viewers, thanks for being on, and thanks for everything. Thanks for giving in your time spending your time listening and watching. There is Honorable Buwemba dissecting all the issues to do with NUP and other political parties in this country. The question is whether our political parties in Uganda, especially those on opposition, will be able to withstand whatever is going on, the things they term as threats and so forth, of which this is perceived by some of the members in the NRM part as just being a way of these people gaining or garnering sympathy, supporters, and
yes, that
you know,
gathering the sympathy around a right cause.
Okay,
is there safety? Is there someone else storing? Yes. Is there someone making alarm? Yeah, here we are. So let us get that sympathy through our actions. Now, let the NRMs also gather the sympathy from the public by catching all the iron, the Kalamajong iron screws, because it is the information in the public.
Yeah, but but those you are accusing,
just saying, no, why are you calling me?
they're still innocent till proved guilty by the court.
Which court are they to? Is Anita Mong in the court on that case?
All right. All right. It has been PowerPoint for you today, and I remain Jacob Junior Mungesi. Don't forget to subscribe, to follow, to share, to comment, to like. Please, this is our show and it is your show. We shall keep bringing you more and more politicians to dissect a lot of things that are going on in the political world, especially here in Uganda. Till next time, bye-bye.